Climber, how do you turn what you might think of as a career disqualifying challenge or limitation into an important part of what connects you to your audience? In other words, how do you turn an obstacle into a benefit for your career? We're going to talk about that and so much other good stuff today on The Climb. Johnny, do that thing.
So fast.
That's so good.
Welcome to The Climb! This is a show dedicated to helping singers, songwriters, and indie artists like you create leverage in the music business. Leverage is where it's at. That's what you're going to need to get ahead, guys. It's the new music business. You got to prove that you can do it, and then everybody wants to do it with you. That's why we called it The Climb, C.L.I.M.B, creating leverage in the music business. So clever. That's a backronym from a good friend of Ghost, Mr. Brent Baxter, who's an award-winning hit songwriter with cuts by Alan Jackson, Randy Chavez, Lady A, Joe Nichols, and more. And you don't care about any of that. What you care about is that Brent's going to help you turn pro as a songwriter by revealing how you write like a pro, do business like a pro, and then on the regular, he gives you opportunities to create relationships with different pros who can help you climb that ladder. You can find Brent very easily at songwritingpro.com.
And I would like to introduce you to my co-host, Johnny Dwinell. Johnny owns Daredevil Production. They're breaking artists digitally by identifying new fans through data. If you're an artist looking to increase your streams, blow up your video views, sell more live show tickets, and get discovered by new fans, TV, and music industry pros, then Daredevil Production can help. Daredevil has worked with multi-platinum artists like Colin Ray, Tracy Lawrence, Ty Herndon, and Andy Griggs, just to name a few. You can find Johnny at daredevilproduction.com. That's production, singular, no S, and there's no S because there is no other Johnny D. Dude, we got a good one today. We got a good one today.
This was such a great interview.
I don't want to give it away too much, but y'all stick around. It's inspiring. It's motivating. It's going to blow up some of your excuses. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's a nice excuse you have there. Sure would be a shame if something happened to it.
That's right, man. Jason Gray. I mean, what a great, he's a CCM artist. He's a songwriter. He's a children's book author.
Yep.
And some other things you're about to find out
in the
interview that are astonishing. And I learned some stuff that was, I mean, there's a couple moments where we were both like, wait, what? Shut the front door. Like when he did that one thing when the phone did, I was like, what the hell?
So good.
So anyway, you guys, we're not going to screw around on this one. We're just going to get right into it. Without further ado, we're going to turn you on to Jason Gray.
Today's guest is an acclaimed contemporary Christian CCM singer-songwriter known for his heartfelt lyrics, vulnerability, and storytelling. Born in Minnesota, his career started with an independent release before signing with Centricity Music in 2006, which propelled him into the mainstream Christian music scene. He has since released multiple charting albums, including Everything Sad Is Coming Untrue and Love Will Have the Final Word, with hits like Remind Me Who I Am, With Every Act of Love, More Like Falling in Love, and Sparrows. Speaking of Sparrows, one of his more unique ventures here just recently was turning that song Sparrows into a children's book, creatively expanding the song's message of trust in God's provision for even the smallest of creatures into a format that can inspire children. And I'm looking forward to diving into that in particular today. Jason Gray, welcome to The Climb.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
We should point out that Jason, you mentioned vulnerability is also vulnerable to like a virus or a cold because God bless you. You're not feeling so good today, and you still came on the pod. So thank you
for being a trooper. We appreciate that.
Thanks for asking me, and hopefully, I think the worst of the hacking is over. But hopefully, you don't have to hit the mute button if I get going. But
it's all good because my son Ren, we're just sitting right over there. He edits the podcast.
Oh, nice.
So that's good. Like his main job is taking out.
I'll give him some work to do.
So just have at it.
We're multi-tracking here. Yeah, like we can cut that stuff out. Don't worry about a thing. Yeah.
That's right. It's all good. So I'm holding my hands here for those of you on YouTube. This fine book, Sparrows, which our guest today co-wrote based off the song. So I gave it a read. It's a fun book, and I just thought that was something we haven't really covered on The Climb. And man, this is like episode 454, and we have not talked about turning songs into books. I thought that would just be a super interesting topic that we could talk about, and really just an excuse to have you on. So now was a good time. She got something you're talking about, but my daughter needs a stapler. Homeschool dad. Handing him the
really, Brent's trying to impress his wife, Jason. That's what's going on. So he had to get you on.
Always.
This works for Brent.
Oh, nice. Bringing on Jason Gray, handing out staplers to the kids.
Yeah, you are, man. I'm dadding it. I'm podcasting it. I am also multi-track. I'm also running multi-track.
You need to have next and cash and checks over here.
Right. So anyway, so let's just dive into Sparrows a little bit. So it was a top 20 hit. It's amassed over 21 million Spotify streams, and it's resonated with a whole lot of people. How did the idea come to turn the song into a children's book? Like, how'd that hit you?
Yeah. I wanted to write a children's book for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I floated the idea to and I should also explain here at the beginning that for anyone who doesn't know me, I do suffer from a speech handicap known as stuttering. There it is right there. Ironically, the word stutter is one of the hardest words for you get the idea.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, who's coming up with these words? Why would they make Why would they make a person with a lisp say that they have? I mean, that's not cool.
You gotta have an alternate word. Yes.
There's two stutter and lisp, and they both are like
Can you say can you just say like I got some Mel Tillis? Right? Can you just say like I got some Mel Tillis? Would that help?
Going on? Yeah, that's better. But okay, so I do have a speech handicap. I just don't, I just wouldn't want people out there hearing this worrying about me. I'm fine. This is just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Some people find it adorable. Okay, anyway.
Mel Tillis certainly built a huge career on that.
So I had wanted to do a children's book for about 10 years, and just had the people around me continually talk me out of it, just because it's a lot of work and it can be very expensive. So, there's not like a high profit margin on it or anything like that. And, but it was always in my heart to do it. And then one of the marketing guys at my record label approached me. He goes, "Hey, would you like to do a children's book?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been wanting to for like 10 years, Yeah. And because it was his idea, like it just, all the doors opened wide, right?
That's a lesson right there.
Yeah.
Let it be somebody else's idea, and it kind of paves the way. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it was great working with him, and he connected me with the artist and the co-writer, and it was just a great learning experience. I'd like to do at least a couple more of these. I've got in my mind, but this first time around, like, I was paying attention the whole time, like, oh, this is how you do this. Oh, this is the language you use for that. Oh, this is how you approach the illustrations, and so I'm working on another book at the same time, a book of devotional essays for all my songs.
Oh, cool.
I've ever released, and it's interesting. It's like a few years ago, I built a sliding barn door for my studio space, and when I was done, I was like, well, now I know how to build a door. I should start all over, So writing a book is teaching me how to write a book. Writing a children's book taught me how to write a children's book. So I hope I get to do it again. But yeah.
That's very cool.
Very interesting.
So yeah.
Well, I was going to say, can we talk about the speech impediment thing for a second?
Yeah, please do.
The
I love talking about it. Thanks. Yeah,
that's,
great.
that's just what I want to do is talk. So
I do like talking about it.
Jason, you're a hoot, man. I love you right out of the gate. I love you. What
I'm
is
thinking we're
so
going to explode some
fascinating?
excuses. I'm thinking we're going to blow up some excuses here. That's probably what this conversation is going to do.
Well, I'm curious. Like, it's so fascinating to me. You call it a speech handicap.
Right.
You lose that handicap when you sing, right? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Man, that's like,
Weird, right?
what's the explanation for that? Yeah.
Well, the
It's
explanation.
wonderful. I mean,
I know.
it's so it makes me feel like uh, I've always felt like you're closest to God when you're creating,
Yeah.
and when you're singing, and that's a big part of why we're here. And
Mm.
to all of a sudden, everybody's got these little things. Nobody's got a boulevard of unbroken green lights, in their life. And but on that one, it's like, you know what? Just go over here and sing for everybody, and
Yeah.
I'll make it go away. Like, wow.
It's weird, right? It's a good
Is there
partnership.
so what's behind that? Like, what?
Um, from what I understand, I've heard two explanations. One is that you're drawing from a different part of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
the other one that I've heard is that a lot of my a lot of our speech patterns are determined by our breathing, and so whatever microchip you have in your brain that reminds you to breathe while you're speaking, I don't have that, and so my breathing is very irregular when I'm speaking,
Mm,
and then things get kind of locked up,
mm.
but that when you sing, your breathing is kind of all scheduled in there, and
Yes.
you breathe more healthily,
Intentionally.
you know,
Yeah.
when you sing. And so if I'm monitoring my breathing, I'm much more fluent, and normally I can do that pretty well these days. You may have just heard it happen there. I was about to get hung up on the word pretty well, and I remembered, and I took my breath, and then I was able to say it, But when you throw a cold in the mix with all that, like it's one more layer of
You're
complication.
a saint, Jason. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But
I would have rescheduled.
yeah, yeah,
But
Not
I
for
mean,
nothing.
I love that. I mean, it's inspiring for me. Not only like stepping out and like doing a book, something you haven't done before, but yeah, just that. A lot of people have, because I figured that's where Johnny was going to go. Like, okay, let's talk about this.
yeah,
Is exploding excuses. A lot of people may just go, well, I would be uncomfortable in front of people, and being a singer, that's kind of what you do is you get up in front of people.
oh yeah,
And was that a
And
tough
on
thing
a
to
stage
overcome?
with lights and a big
yeah,
microphone to amplify
yeah.
the thing that I'm uncomfortable about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either a beautiful miracle, or I'm a glutton for punishment. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know.
Here's the way I look at it, Jason. Frank Sinatra said he was just all about pulling up the chair inside the lion's mouth.
Yeah,
Just sit down and discuss this.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And and that's what I say. And clearly, because you don't feel well, you got this nasty cold. I mean, you're probably going to hear him cough. Maybe we're probably going to edit it out, but
yeah.
I mean, he's been coughing before. But still, you're like, no, let's do this thing. Like,
Yeah.
let's go and do the pod. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a testament to it's just like that's the cloth you're cut from, man.
Well, my approach to songwriting is kind of like that too, which I'm just noticing in the moment, is that usually I begin with what am I most afraid to talk about today? That's probably where the truth is hiding. So I should go
Oh,
do that.
that's good.
And my favorite part of concerts is the VIP meet and greet Q&A time before the show, because I can't prepare for it. I don't know what they're going to ask. I don't know what I'm going to say. I do like that pulling up a chair in the lion's mouth kind of space,
Yeah.
But very early on, as I began to have a sense that I had a calling on my life to speak about my experience about God, like when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
I used to argue with God about it, saying, "You can't make me your spokesperson until you make it so I can speak." And
Sounds
I don't know.
very Exodus.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know if you've ever had this experience or not, but when you tell God that He can't do something, it's kind of like a dare that He can't resist, right? So, hey, everybody, here I am. I do what I do because I lost a dare with the Lord.
He dared to challenge God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
We'll see. He's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I remember early on believing that, I can see how this is going to work. I've got a speech impediment. I'm supposed to speak for the Lord, or okay, I see. That means that when I step out in faith and do it anyway, He's going to make it go away.
Yeah.
And okay, so then I would begin to do these leaps of faith, and I would do like open mic nights or speak for my church or something like that, or and would stutter horribly. And the idea I had back then was it meant that I didn't have enough faith, or I wasn't holy enough, or
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have enough. I wasn't doing enough of the right thing to get God to do what He wanted to do anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I kept trying harder to believe harder, to sin less, all those things, and it just kept happening over and over. And after about 2 or 3 years of that, I was becoming bitter about it. Like, what gives? I'm doing my part. I'm stepping out in faith. You're not meeting me there. It's not a good look for you either, God.
Right.
What do you
Not a
want?
good look for you either.
Yeah.
I've had some of those conversations.
Yeah. And I remember I was playing at a coffee shop in my hometown, and it was one more opportunity to step out in faith and be disappointed. I stuttered horribly, and I got done, and I just wanted to go home and hide, but I had to pack up my gear, and there wasn't a green room. There was just the stage and the coffee house. And so I get done, and I'm packing up my things, and I noticed that there's a group of people who have lined up to talk with me after the show. It's one of my first concerts I ever did, and I was like, "Oh, okay, wow," So I turned around, and I remember feeling so embarrassed by how things had gone that my face was hot. I couldn't look them in the eye, But then one after the other, I heard them say variations of the same thing. They were saying, "Thank you for doing what you did, even with a speech handicap, because it reminds me that I'm not defined by my weakness either." And there was a guy at the end of the line. I remember his name was Dennis. And basically he said, "Thank you for what you did this evening. I believe that I have a call on my life too. And you're kind of a disaster. And if you can do your thing, surely I can do my thing too." Thanks, Dennis. Do you have the gift of encouragement? Thank you. And I remember going home that night and realizing that it wasn't anything I spoke. It wasn't the excellence of my performance that moved people or that spoke to people. It was simply that I was broken, and I got up there and I did it anyway. And that,
That's the inspiration.
yeah. And that helped me begin to see that, maybe God isn't calling me in spite of my handicap, but maybe He's calling me because of it. Like, maybe that's what magic is, and I began to have a freedom there, where I was less distracted by my speech handicap, and I was able to move forward and experience it as a feature rather than a bug in the system.
Yeah. It's colorful.
embrace that. Yeah, right. Makes me more
it's colorful. It's a distant corollary, but I think of the movie Bull Durham when Kevin Costner's talking to who's the other actor in that? I forget. He's married to Susan Sarandon, but
yeah,
he's like, man, look it, and he's showing him his flip flops. He's like, you got mold on your shower shoes. He goes, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And he goes, so you know what? He goes, when you get in the show, it'll be colorful. The press will love it. But until then, it just means you're a slob.
Right. Yeah, right.
But here you are on the stage in the show, and it's colorful, you know?
Yeah.
And I have a question, Jason. Did you have this your whole life?
Yes. Since I was 5 years old, and as I understand it, like I was genetically predisposed to it.
Okay.
And it's activated by some kind of a trauma. And so when my dad left when I was 5 years old is when it began to appear, and you know, so and it has ended up like opening a doorway with my audience to be vulnerable. It's like a vulnerability that goes before me, that kind of prepares the way, that opens hearts for us to be able to talk about other weaknesses too, you know. And so it's
was because I'm ignorant about this, but was singing a form of therapy to help you get around this? No. I was just wondering if maybe that was like your introduction into music.
Yeah, no. People ask me all the time, like, when did you realize that you could sing and be fluent? And I'm like, I have no memory of a moment where I was like, oh wow, maybe somebody else pointed it out to me, or so it's weird. One other really weird thing about it I've noticed over the last 8 years or so is when I'm doing a text, I hate to subtype, and so I'll often do a voice to text, right?
Oh yeah.
And now I'm doing voice to text right now, and for some reason, whenever I do voice to text, I don't believe I've ever stuttered once.
Get out! No, shut the front door. Like, are you kidding me?
Does that mean I've been doing it for attention all along? You know, like, I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Dude, no freaking way. No, you know what that means? That means like you're a freaking star, because you know what? You know what happens when you do the voice to text? The red light is on. And when the red light comes on, you're like, kapow.
Wow.
And you're like, I'm on now. I'm on. Yeah. Whether it's a recording button in a mic in a studio, whether it's a mic on stage, or whether it's the record to text button.
Isn't that weird? So
that's astonishing. Wow.
It could be a variation of the breathing thing, because when I'm doing voice to text, I'm I'm speaking very intentionally, good diction, you know, so it could be that plus the red light thing, you know, but I don't know.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I've known, I've been in show business my whole life, and I was a former artist myself. And, I've lived in Hollywood for 15 years. My ex-wife was a TV producer. And so I just been around these, and there are people, just with the stuttering thing aside, who are just like, you would meet them and you'd think they're a mess, you know, like they're crazy, or they're just a hot mess. And then the red light goes on and it's like, kapow, they're perfect. They're perfect. And it's just so much so that some people are just, it's a story, you know, they're like, everybody's afraid, like, what's going to happen? And then the red light goes on and it's great. And so that's why it made me think of that. I'm like, oh no, dude, you're born to be right where you are right now.
Yeah.
Well, I receive that.
And Jason, something you said earlier, I just want to come back to, because I really resonated with it, was, you know, going, okay, Lord, you know, good, I guess you're going to fix this thing, so therefore I can go and do this thing that you've called me to do. We had, kind of a similar, but my kind of it resonated with me because, you know, we've been called to adopt several times. And I remember at the first adoption, you know, like we weren't like rolling in dough to begin with because hello, songwriter, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember telling Emily, it's like, okay, you know, God provided for the adoption. I was like, well, we feel like we're called to adopt. So congratulations, baby. We're getting a hit. A hit is on the way. She's like, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, because we're screwed if it doesn't. Because how are we going to afford these kids? And not like the big country hit or the big CCM hit, but it's like he still provided. Like he, you know, so cuts and different things enough. Where still a little bit of manna, it's enough for today, or it's loaves and fishes, or you know, he didn't spread out the whole buffet and go, okay, I'm just gonna drop number ones on you like you know, whatever confetti.
Like
because maybe that's not the story I have for you. And Emily and I, you know, my wife, we hit this thing going, hey, we really wanted our story to be like they stepped out in faith, they've adopted these kids, and now God is just dropping number ones on them like nothing. And so we can give a bunch because that's really what our heart is like. We don't want to, you know, have a McMansion or whatever. We just want to be able to give a lot and feed our kids. It's like, maybe that's not the story he has for us. Maybe the story he has for us is, well, they can't afford it, but they do it anyway, and God works it out. It's like, that's not really the story I wanted to sign up for. The other one, where like
let's picture a neighborhood over.
Made it rain.
You and me both, man. Yeah,
I'm working my way through that one. You know, which stories may change over time. We don't know. God is good either way. But you know, I think of Paul. You know, he had this thorn in the flesh, and it's like he wanted that gone, but there was a reason. I don't know. We got our stuff, but anyway, that just really resonated with me. So I just wanted to come back to that. I thought that was super cool.
I love it.
So the character in the book has a speech impediment. I haven't read the book. I didn't get it, but has a speech impediment as a speech handicap? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little
handicap the right word to use, Jason? I don't want to use the wrong word here.
Oh, well, I think that the technical term is speech handicap, but ironically, sometimes it's hard for me. Excuse me. I believe the correct word is speech impediment, but ironically, the word impediment, I get hung up on it, so then I'll say handicap.
Okay, well, we'll say handicap too then. We're with you.
Well, it's like working on a song. It's like, well, either of those words work, but this one sings better.
Right, exactly.
Better
this one would actually say. This one would actually say. We were just talking about that with Will Nance. You know, like, would you say that? No, that's what I thought. So
like that would work. This one feels better. Okay, we go with that one. So
I love it.
So how long's the book been out? And I'm just curious, have you heard back from some people that, you know, have read it and go, oh my gosh, this is, you know, I got this from my daughter who, you know, has this situation as well? Or
so the book actually releases October 23rd, so it's not technically out yet. But I got the first boxes of them a couple weeks ago, and so I brought them out on the road with me. This weekend, I had 3 shows. I thought I brought enough for all 3 shows, and I sold out of all of them before the break of the first show.
Wow,
and
that's awesome!
Good for you, man.
And just have begun to hear back, you know, that you know, and I imagine with your guys' backgrounds, you'll appreciate this. Just the older I get, the more moved I am by the idea that any work I do would become part of the fabric of people's lives. You know, for instance, I did a Christmas record a few years back, and when I hear that the people put it on in the background when they're doing their holiday baking, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so meaningful that I would become a part of the traditions of a family, and that there'll be nostalgia, you know, attached to my album, you know, like, wow.
That's cool. Yeah.
And so as I open up the first box of the children's books, you know, I thought, oh, this could be one of those things, you know, where it could be a child's favorite book. and they hold on to it for like 20, 25 years, and maybe they hand it down to their child, and like what an honor to get to hold that space in someone's life, you know. So I'm very honored or humbled by the idea of all that. That may not happen, you know, but
Well, you can't win if you don't play, though.
Yeah, it's
you know?
possible now. It wasn't possible till it.
yeah.
And
you
I
wrote it.
think every artist is, I mean, my experience with artists is that's, that's the biggest fear is the vulnerability.
Mm.
Oh.
It's a difference between really getting an artist to where they need to be in development and some of them just stop on the road in a certain place because they're not really going to go be that vulnerable. You know, they're not going to use your words. You step into the thing they're most afraid of to talk about today.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, I thought
but
of your
they're too
quote that you
scared.
say, when Jason said, what am I most afraid of talking about today? I thought of Johnny, that quote that you use about it's in the work that we avoid. What's that quote?
The magic you seek is in the work that you're avoiding.
Totally. Yeah.
And I'm like, that totally works for not just business side of stuff, but for writing as well. What are you avoiding talking about? What are you scared of? That's the magic.
Yeah. That's the music.
Yeah. I love that.
That's incredible.
That's where the most significant truth is hiding, right? Yeah. But
yeah. So, Brent, just curious, like, just in terms of jiving with the book drop, when does this episode drop?
So this episode drops on November 5th. So the book is already out. What's the drop date?
Perfect.
What's the street
October
date?
23rd. Yeah.
23rd. So, all right, get them if they're not all sold out by now. They'll be on the second or third pressing by now, but go get Sparrows.
I love that. And I'll tell you what, like children's books and children's music is that's the gold mine that well, just speaking like a suit right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, right? Because there is a kind of like kids music or kids books that I don't mean to be negative. I don't have a perfect language around it, but the word that comes to mind that panders to kids or like becomes kind of cutesy and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine too, you know. But the best children's music, the best children's literature is the kind that transcends the cutesiness and naivety and speaks to the child in all of us, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to, like, I've wondered about doing a kids album. You know, like, I love Shel Silverstein for
Oh yeah.
example. You know what I mean? Like,
forget about it. Yeah.
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 And that's I would like to learn more how to access all of that. I don't know how to do that now. I just know that I'd like to. I recognize it when I see it, and I'd like to figure that out. Hopefully we accomplish that a little bit in this first book. You know, I don't think it panders.
No, I don't. I didn't get that sense at all.
Okay, good.
We call it finger guns. You know, it's like
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
It's a little too deep, a little shallow into the gene pool, kind of a thing.
Right.
But I like you said something that you recognize it when you see it, and you're not sure how to get there, but you are. I mean, it's just it's by doing the work. That's the only way out is through. Like you got to go through that, and then because you've got taste, and you've got talent, and then you just you have to figure out. You're going to have to kiss a couple frogs down that road to find out what you don't like, and be like, we're not going to put that out because I don't like that. But let's go over here, and that's what is it. It's because it truly comes from within you. That's what makes it unique. and with your taste, a work ethic, and a bar that you're setting in a mission, to not be
Yeah.
finger guns and naive and catering or pandering
Right.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
to kids. Because you've mentioned Shel Silverstein. I think that really good stuff is, um, and you mentioned it speaks to the child in all of us, but in other words, it works for adults too,
Right. Yeah.
because it's so well done.
Goonies. Right.
Yeah,
Goonies.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I thought so, but then I'm trying to play that for my kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot play this for my kids. It was wild
I
in the 80s.
well,
We had no
I
filter in the
mean,
80s.
like, but okay. So, like, when I was a kid, I loved Three's Company. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
he's
me too. Yeah.
this guy, and he's friends with these two.
He
And
trips
then
over
I
the
watched
couch
it.
all the time. Yay.
Yeah, yeah. Like all of that went over my head, and I watch it now. I'm like, oh my gosh, who let me watch this? Like,
Oh yeah.
is anybody paying attention?
Oh
Was
yeah.
I a neglected child?
The 80s were wild in that way. The Goonies, same way. We used to watch Grease, me and my cousins, when we were kids. And then
Grease.
I did not understand why my uncle like edited out the Grease Lightning song and dance
Totally.
thing. And then later we watched it like we were in college. It got together. We were hanging
Yeah.
in someone's dorm room and some girl put it
Yeah.
on and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Yeah, you didn't know."
Totally. Yeah.
But speaking
Uh,
of the speaks to the childness and well done, my kids and I just went to the drive-in a couple days ago and watched The Wild Robot, which is an
oh,
animated thing. It's a book. It's a children's book. Like 3 of my kids have read it. They love it. And so
yeah.
we saw that it was coming out. And it's funny. So my 13-year-old Ozzy, he's a writer. He's a creative as well. He's working on a book and all this stuff and
Yeah.
homeschool. But anyway, he was like, "See, that's how you do it. That's how you do it." It's not, because it had a
Yeah.
really good story, character and
Right.
character art. And it was just, you could tell, man, care and attention. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like put bright stuff up and
Right.
be cutesy and
Make it about a robot.
it
Yeah.
was like,
Look.
this is crafted. They crafted the crap out of it. It was wonderful. So
Yeah. Yeah. And your word, Johnny, about like trusting your taste and your
Mhm.
work ethic, and that and it's this idea that if you are true to yourself, it'll be true. And I was talking with my mentor about this a couple years ago, because I was like, I was in a wrestling match with my manager and my record label about a song, and I was trying to be true to myself, and nobody understands me, and my mentor, he challenged me. He said all of that is ego,
Mm.
and that was the first time that I like it entered my mind that, this idea of artistic purity and being true to myself, that can be like an ego trip at the same time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
unless I use it in service of others.
Mm.
And that was when I began to think about the art of condescension, of being condescending, which is usually a negative term, but when we think about the incarnation,
Mm.
Jesus being born as a baby, breaking into our world in a way that we can deal with him and understand him, and that is the beauty of condescension, right? And
Right.
I was asked to give a little introductory um, speech for a friend of mine who was winning an ASCAP
Yeah, like Airplay Award, right?
lifetime
Or
achievement award, right?
yeah.
And I said, there's at least two ways to write a song. One is as you sit down to write it, this control panel appears before you, and all the buttons you can push to get people to do what you want, to get them to be excited about your song, to buy your song, and you can hit all those buttons, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be manipulation, right? Another way is that you can know your, like, okay, so the first way is you know your audience so well, you know which buttons to push, which would be manipulation. The other way, though, is to know your audience so well that you can that you know how to love them well, you know how to break into their world and speak their language in a way that loves them, right?
Mm.
And I think the same is true with everything that we do, you know, and so it's this idea of being true to yourself in the service of loving others, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's what those are the building blocks, the basic building blocks that you just described of what my company did and the
Mm,
miracles that we created
mm.
in marketing,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
for corporate our corporate companies. We do the same with our artists, but it's we're the music industry is just a little bit behind on this whole thing, but it's all digital.
yeah,
And the idea that number one, we've got a company that is truly in service of others. Like we
Mhm.
are here to help these people,
yeah.
reach this mission, right? And they work specifically with retirees, and they're helping them
Oh,
protect their wealth. And
yeah,
there's a statement from a tax judge back in the early 1900s that states that there's two tax systems in America, one for the informed and one for the uninformed, and
yeah,
both are legal, And
yeah,
so we're going to teach you how to do this. And the way that we market and the way that we like helped to blow this company, and they were already doing great, man. So I mean, it's not like this guy was already a rock star, but we doubled his sales during the pandemic, just going totally digitally by bringing out what you just said. Like all of a sudden, we're putting him in all this video content and
yeah,
creating these sales funnels, and he's just every single video in every single email that comes out is a hack or a piece of knowledge. We call them value bombs, right? So it's
yeah,
just like, hey, did you know this? Did you know that? Like, but and so it's like every week he's just turning up. The open rates on those emails are astonishing. It's 40 to
yeah,
70%. Why?
Mhm.
Because he's there to serve.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and then they reciprocate.
yeah,
Mhm.
They reciprocate. Why? Because they've developed a relationship because they really believe you, and then they begin to honor you when they believe you because they feel served,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know?
I think
And
it's the same with with writers and
well,
artists. Oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, I
You're
was just gonna say that, it just occurred to me right now as I was saying that sentence that is inherently the difference
mm,
between a broadcast platform and a digital platform because
mm.
broadcast, you're able to get away with hype,
Mhm.
right?
Right,
Because it was just everybody was there. I mean, it happened with broadcast because everybody we're tribal and we're taking our cues and we're getting information whether we are aware of it or not, whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, from other people. But in a on a digital platform it's one to one, and
yeah,
in a one to one exchange psychologically there is no other information
Mhm.
yeah,
coming in. So the first thing, like no matter what, we are in the limbic part of our brains, the fight or flight part of our brains. Like I
yeah,
have to determine if you give a crap about me and my family before
Mhm.
mhm,
I'm going to get out of that part and into the neocortex where I can
yeah,
start to believe you, get into you, listen to you, logically exchange with you. And
mm,
and so it's a very, very psychological thing that, by the way, that's the only way it works on digital because it's one to one. And so when people are trying to bring hype to digital, it's like
yeah,
shoving square blocks in a round hole. It doesn't work. And so isn't that interesting? Like it
listen,
but that really is when you're serving them, when you seek to serve them first, when
Mhm.
you
yeah,
love them first, that's Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Love
Yeah.
them first.
yeah,
Like when you love them first, they'll love you back and they'll choose you
yeah,
over
yeah,
anybody else. And they'll listen to what that message will be
yeah,
Mhm.
received. And then as long as you're honest with yourself and
yeah,
true to your message, well, you're gonna blow some heads off. They're gonna be like, "Well, this is my guy. This is my girl. This is what we're
Yeah.
gonna do."
Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
true with artists and songwriters as well. Like when I'm in the room, if I'm writing with an artist, especially, like I'm in the service business. It's like, how can I
yeah,
help you tell your story to your audience? And hopefully, if the artist is smart, they're thinking, how can I serve my audience? Give them the emotional experience they desire to have or would be good for them to have, that sort of thing. And it's like if we did,
yeah,
what was it? Zig Ziglar said, you can have anything you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. Like you just
yeah.
kind of get
Mhm.
what you
Oh,
want
that's
as a
good.
byproduct. And so I know my songwriting is better when I come in with an artist and go like, I'm here to serve. It's not about like, I got this cool idea that I want to write for me. It's like, I'm a writer. I'm not an artist. So no, it's like, what do you want to say? Even if I think my idea like turns me on a little bit more, well, I'm not writing for my audience.
Right.
I'm writing for yours.
You know, one of the interesting manifestations of that in working on this book what was I worked with a woman named Jess Jess Wohler to help me write it, you know, and because she's more well versed in the language that would be, you know, that would speak to children, and that was a learning experience. And it's interesting because as a songwriter, there are words that you don't use because you associate them as filler words, like very. Don't use the word very, right? Or just, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first began to work with her, and she, you know, and I had the basic idea of a story that we could tell, you know, um, and she'd help me put language around it. And there was a sentence in it, and he cares very, very much. And I thought I never would have wrote that sentence because he uses the word very and he uses it twice. But as I read it in the spirit of a child, like, and he cares very, very much. Like that was very. I felt kind of
felt good.
held by the language, you know.
Yeah.
And my everything that I've learned as a songwriter, like I kind of had to unlearn that or expand it, you know, as I learned this new
Adapt it, right? Like,
like
it'd be like the way, Brent, when you talk about walking into a room and writing for country, and then walking into a room and writing for CCM, or walking into another room and writing for Southern gospel. Like you have to adapt.
It's
you
different
know,
languages. It's things you can't say. A lot of times in Southern gospel, they'll be like, dial that back. It's a little too cool. A little too edgy, or it's a little. I'm like, finally, a room where I'm edgy. Doesn't happen a lot.
Right.
But I was wondering about that too, because I wanted to ask you. I'm really glad you brought that up, because it is a different language. Like if it was, you know, a country song, it'd be like, instead of, you know, and he cared very, very much, it'd be like, oh, he cared about that like a Bama fan cares about national championships.
Sure, right, yeah.
It's like, how do I put this some color in it? How can I care about it like, you know, like Packers fans care about hoisting the Lombardi? You know, like, how can I put a picture in this and make it interesting and cool? Johnny's a Packers fan, so that's for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
And
well,
it's right? So yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm sure you've had this experience too when you write with somebody who has a handle on a different aspect of language than what you have, and like, oh, that's how you do that. Oh, that's interesting, you know. So I had that experience working with chess, and then bringing in an illustrator, and that being a whole other mode of language too. Like one of the things that I am delighted by in the book is that on every spread, somewhere in there is a picture of a bird, right? And it's usually like its placement, whatever it's doing, is communicating the presence of God's peace, or to the degree that we've allowed it or haven't allowed it, you know. Like there's one here. Hold on.
I just now noticed it on the first page, just by the door. I'm like, oh, look at that. Now I got an Easter egg now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch my kids, see if they can find the sparrows on each page.
So, hey, Jason, while you're looking for this, I got a question. Oh, go ahead, and then I got a question.
Okay, so like here, and whenever she's in her anxiety mind, it's all like a dark
cloud,
stormy hot bubble, right? And but here you can see on her bedposts.
Yeah, on the top of the bedpost,
So
like
she's
carved sparrow.
surrounded by them, right? Like
Yeah.
it's always present. It's always there.
So
And then
was that a so if I'm understanding you right, is this like an epiphany for me
yeah,
on this, like coming from the songwriting space where you've got to put everything into words
yeah,
and you've got to tell that story and the
yeah,
furniture has to be in the words.
yeah.
Are there it just occurs to me in a children's book you have visual aids that go along with it. So does that allow you some leash maybe lyrically because the picture can help you tell the story too?
You know, it being my first time doing this, we didn't lean on that. We like we have to get the story right, and then let's bring in an illustrator. You know,
Okay.
if I do it again in the future, I think I've got that like in my brain now. So it was more of a uh, that came out after the fact,
Mhm.
but still came out in beautiful ways. Like so, I had a song called "Remind Me Who I Am," and we recorded a music video, and it went viral. Um, and it really connected with a lot of people. And the idea behind it was people would hold up a cardboard sign that would say something on it like "rejected" or
Mhm.
or or "ashamed" or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And then by the end by 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 the end of the song, the idea was that it'd be flipped over and the opposite would be on there. So instead of
Mhm.
rejected, accepted, instead
Yeah.
of forgiven or something like that.
Oh,
And so we wrote up all the signs and went to record this. And an hour before being in the red, I guess is what you'd say, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
We realized actually maybe the same word is the antidote for all these negative things that we feel. Maybe it's the fact that we are loved. Maybe it's our belovedness that answers
Mm.
rejection, that answers shame, that answers anger. Um, and so we had to redo all the signs quick. And so all of them, when you flip it over, it says beloved. And that was the thing that
Oh,
really moved people, and
that
that it
just
was
gave me
the same
chills.
answer for all of our ailments, you know. And that was a discovery that we made in the 11th hour, and it ended up being the thing that made it special.
I love
And I
that.
kind of had that experience with this book too. Like we didn't think, and on every spread we're going to have a bird that appears. Like that kind of
Yeah,
happened. Like
Yeah.
right at the end of it, like wouldn't it be cool? And now to me, it's like the most meaningful aspect of the book is that this
yeah.
presence of peace is it's always in the picture.
Yeah.
We have access to it all the time, right? You know?
Sometimes you have to look for it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
that's something you
yeah,
can sit down with your kids and go and have that talk about.
yeah,
It's always you might have to look for it a little bit, but where's the peace in
yeah.
this? Where's the peace
It's
in this?
always in the picture.
It's the peace
Which
is always in the picture. Yeah.
which I
Wow.
think is this other meaningful story that's kind of going on in the background of the actual story of the book, you know,
Mhm.
and the idea that it could become an Easter egg hunt, and that a parent would get to explain what you know what you were just saying. That like I just think that's very meaningful and beautiful, and we kind of happened upon it by accident. You know,
Love that.
I love
You're
that.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
happy accidents. One thing you picked up, I'm picking up on in the book, and it's come up a couple times in our conversation today, is the character in the book, Ellie, has this anxiety, these fears and stuff. And what starts happening is she starts serving other people.
yeah,
She brings soup to the ladies. Her classmate, which was not kind to her, she
a
comforts
bully.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
And man, I think that's so true in life. If we're focused inward, we just see our own problems. And I think one thing that would help a lot of people, and there are other reasons for anxiety and depression too. There are physical things. I think food we
yeah,
eat, all this stuff. But one of the things is we're so focused on ourselves. If we can go serve somebody. You're in a bad mood, go serve somebody, and it will help pull you out of that because you're just not about yourself. Like forget James Taylor in one of his songs said, "Look up from your life."
Yeah.
And I think
That's
that's
a good
important
line.
to do. So,
Yeah.
I love that kind of undercurrent in this as well. That it helps her deal with her stuff because she started helping other people, and I think that's beautiful.
When I was in middle school, and I came from a small town of under 300 people, and there was a kid, Robert. I want to say his last name, but I won't.
You know who you are, Robert.
Yeah. And he was a bully.
Yeah.
And he would pick on me and stuff. But when he was picking on my best friend, that was when I stepped in and and we kind of hustled a little bit on the playground. In the playground, the teacher blew her whistle at us and sent us to the principal's office. And we're on our way there. And Robert, bless his heart, he wasn't the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. He wasn't quick on his feet, but I knew that I was. And as we're walking there, I basically said, "Hey, let me handle this. I'll get us out of this." Right. And we got in there. I'm like a fifth grader. Right. And me and Robert are talking with the principal, and I just kind of explained things. Oh, we were just playing, and the teacher misunderstood it. Is that true, Robert? Yeah, and it got us out of it, right? And he treated me differently after that. Like he had a respect for me. He noticed that I got him out of a bind. It would have gone way worse for him because everybody knew he was a bully, Anyway, back to what you were saying with the Zig Ziglar thing. You can have whatever you want as long as you help other people get what they want. And in the story, in the Sparrows book, I wanted to bring that experience I had of Robert of me helping him out, and it ultimately helped me out. And she's being bullied in the book, and she answers that with kindness and and reaching out to this bully who Ellie discovers is going through a difficult time in her life. Which brings me back to the Ian McLaren quote: "Be kind, because everyone you meet is in a hard battle." And so she's kind to the bully, and all of a sudden they become friends. So that's an idea in there that I borrowed from when I was in middle school, and so
love it.
And is the idea of if you serve others, it will have a benefit for you as well.
Yeah,
that's so good. Dude, this has been a beautiful conversation. I've really enjoyed this. So thank you for sharing your heart with us and your stories. And I think this is really helpful. Not only we're going to, I think, explode some excuses some people might have about why they can't do some things, which we like to do on this show.
I'm kind of a disaster, and if I can do what I do, surely you guys can do.
I'm the same way. I don't sing. I don't play an instrument worth a darn, and I'm in the music business for a living. So come on. And somehow feeding 6 kids, and I still ain't got no money. So what's your problem? We all have a buffet of excuses, right? We could just go down the line, take which ones we want. But the thing is getting up and doing it anyway, especially if you're called to it. Like you're called to it. It may not be easy, but that's not the point.
What else are you going to do?
Amen.
I heard a quote yesterday, and it just popped into my head. So I think it relates. It's the idea that, here, hold on. I can find it. I've got it right here. Give me one moment. I'm 10 seconds away from finding it.
Accessing his
right here. I got it.
Auxiliary brain.
It's when things want to die, but you keep them alive, they slowly kill you instead.
Oh,
Isn't that good? When things
Yeah.
want to die, but you keep them alive, they slowly kill you instead. And I think that came into my mind because I think the opposite is true, right? When something wants to manifest in you, but you keep denying it, it slowly it kills you.
yeah.
When you try to kill it, it kills you instead, right? So
Oh, that's
Like,
beautiful.
this
Yeah.
episode should be like Deep Thoughts with Jason Gray.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
That's killer. Well, Jason, where can first of all, we're going to need a link to. Are you selling that book on Amazon when it comes out, or is it only live performances? Or
I wanted to, I don't understand all of that stuff, but I was told that there's something about Amazon's structure or pricing system that it was better for us to have it exclusively available through my website and at my shows. So that's
then you'll give us a link
greatmusic.com.
just so we can put it in the. What is it?
JasonGrayMusic.com.
JasonGrayMusic.com. Okay.
GRAY, and the link will be in the show notes. And it is out now as you're listening to it. So, what's even better than picking it up from his website is go to a show and buy it.
That's right. Come on
Heck
out.
yeah.
I can autograph it, everything.
There you go.
Love it. Love it. Well, Jason, thank you so much for sharing all this with us. Thanks for making that book, by the way. And
this is my first interview around the book. So just a pleasure to get to talk about it and to get to talk with you guys about it. And I just, I respect you and where you're coming from. And I think it made for a very intelligent and interesting and surprising conversation. So it
was wonderful, man. It was our
really
pleasure. And I'll tell you that I'll leave you this. I remember before Brent and I started the podcast 8 years ago, I made a determination for my company to blog. And so I blogged once a week, and it was, I just made a determination to be consistent with that, And you were just talking about writing and that maybe you might want to write some more books and everything. And I just remember it just sprung into my mind. But I was like, I mean, I'm a pretty smart guy. I did a pretty good job writing my first blog. I'm pretty proud of that. But there's a definite, tangible difference between the last blog I wrote and the first one that I wrote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It got way better. So it really just is in the work. And it's I think you're onto something here with this thing. And we wish you the greatest success. And please let us know when you're coming through Nashville. I want to come see you.
Yeah. Well, I live here. I host.
You? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I host a show, a radio show for Sirius XM The Message called Acoustic Storytime, and it's a Writers in the Round experience that we recreate for radio listeners.
Oh, cool!
And I host that at the Well in Brentwood the first Tuesday of every month, and it's usually me and a couple other artists. So if you guys want to be there, let me know. I could put you on the list.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll email you and get those dates from you so that I have them in front of me, and then I'd love to come and see that for sure. That's right. I'm right close to that.
Yeah,
it's the one. It's the Well down by the sort of mall area in Brentwood, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very close to that. So, hey, thank you so much, Jason Gray, for taking the time and saying yes. I'm glad we're your first interview. I think
it was great.
Yeah,
a badge of honor on our part. And guys, this is why we got this podcast, man. I mean, there's a whole lot of value bombs that you can find in this episode, and we created this podcast because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
Who write a great